Alrighty then, it's time again for a chapter test review. So this is the chapter 3 portion, and so let's go ahead and get started with that. Alright, vocabulary is very important. Just looking at here, we need to know what the vocabulary is so we know the theorem. And so this is corresponding angles. And so corresponding angles are congruent, so I'm just going to put a 90 there because it bothers me. Remember that box means 90. And so here's the setup. 9x plus 9 equals 90. Okay, I'm not going to work very many of them all the way through, but I do want to help you set these up if you're getting confused. And this is sort of a way to check yourself and see if you're getting it right. So 2, let's look at the vocabulary. That looks to me like it's still corresponding angles. Okay, 3. Corresponding angles are equal, so you set those up to equal. 3. They look like they're corresponding. Okay. 4. Those are vertical angles. Vertical angles are equal. Okay, let's put that in where it is. So that's what that's going to look like. Okay, moving on. 5. Alternate interior. This is the one we have to solve for. Alternate interior angles. So I'll write that. Alt. Interior. Alternate interior angle theorem states that these two angles are equal. This one's in bold. If you're unsure on the test, you need to ask which one's in bold. This one's clear. This one was not as clear. And so I'm just going to set that up. 1 plus 12x equals 13x minus 6. All right. And so what I need to do is I need to get all my x's on one side. I don't want negative, so I'm going to do this. And I need to get all my normal numbers on one side, so I'm going to do this. And so when I do that, I'm going to add those together. I'm going to get x equals, well, that is 7. That is not what it wants. It says find the measure indicated in bold, so this is part of the answer. I'm going to put that right there, put it in the calculator, or do it by hand. So that is going to be 7 times 12 is going to be an 85. So my answer is going to be 85 degrees. All right, so that's how all these are going to be. Let's see, there's another corresponding angle over here. We just were a little happy with corresponding angles on this review sheet. Probably will be more spread on your test, so just study your vocab. This one is consecutive interior angles, and consecutive interior angles are going to add up to 180. So we do x plus 140 plus x plus 50, and that equals 180. Okay, that's pretty much the only one we got right now other than the linear pair. Okay, we're going to work that out. I'm not going to go all the way. This is 190. I think you can solve the rest here. Let me get down there so you can see what I just wrote. Okay. This one over here, number 8, this is going to be alternate exterior angles. And alternate exterior angles are congruent. So this is the setup. Okay. This is the setup. Let me get this where you can see. All right. So that's that. We got a lot of practice of that. Let's go ahead and go to the next page here. Okay, on this page, we're supposed to find the indicated angle that makes lines U and V parallel. This time we're going to use the converses of all the theorems, but the vocabulary is still the same. This and this is going to be the alt interior converse. And so if those lines are, to make those lines parallel, this needs to be congruent. Okay, this is the consecutive interior converse. They're supposed to add up to 180. So I just need to do 180 minus 126, and I will get the answer, and that answer will be 54 degrees. Okay? Here, consecutive, not consecutive, corresponding angles. 12. This is also corresponding angles. Corresponding angle converse, which is just, the corresponding angle theorem backwards. And remember, corresponding angles are congruent, so this would, of course, be 60. So hopefully we're getting that. Okay, this is going to be very similar to that, and I don't want to waste all your time on this, but you're just going to have to set these up again. It's just different directions, but basically the same type of problem. Okay, I just wanted to practice a little bit more of writing slope interior form of the equation so you can graph it. We've got a little bit of glare here. All right, so we're just going to have to deal with that. A little bit of glare, so I'm just going to set this up again. So if it's like this, all you got to do is take away 11x, take away 11x. We're going to get 2y equals negative 11x plus 6. Divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. Y equals negative 11 halves x plus 3. Okay, that's all you got to do on that. Let's go to 20. I just wanted you to practice point slope form a little bit in case you needed to. And so I'll just do this here. All you do is distribute property. Y minus 1 equals negative 3 halves. X minus negative times a minus is a positive. And add 1 and add 1, and you're done. You are done here. Okay, just a little practice on that. Let's move it on down the road. Let's go see what else we got. Okay, write the slope intercept form of the equation. Okay, on these, I'll give you a hint. You got to find the slope first. You got to find the slope first, and then you need to do it before. It's not going to make the test, so do the best you can on that. We can go over this on test day, but I'll probably tell you the same. It's not going to make the test, but I want to see if you remember how to do this. So you find the slope first, and then you take one point. I'll pick this point and use your point slope form. That's what you do. I'm not going to spend time on it since it didn't make the test. All right, parallel lines. Okay. Okay, this one's extra easy because it's a 0, so I'm not going to bother with it. Let's see here. So parallel lines, all we need for parallel lines is we need the slope. All right, 4, 3, parallel lines. So I'm just going to set this up in slope-intercept form. I'm sorry, point slope form. And here we go with that. I don't think I have enough room. So we're going to bust out the handy-dandy notebook. And we are going to do this here. So I'm going to just use that slope. And so I'm going to put it in y. Point slope form. Y minus, let's call it a 3. Equals 5/4, parentheses, x minus 4, y minus 3, equals 5/4 x minus 5, and add 3, y equals 5/4 x minus 2. Okay, that's done. Perpendicular, just look at 28. Okay, the slope is -5/6. And so I want the perpendicular slope. The perpendicular slope is going to be change the sign, so it's positive, and flip it, 6/5. Okay, then we're going to use this point right here. This is 28. And so we're going to do 1, y minus 1. And it's going to equal m, 6/5. I use the new one. X minus 4. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this here. Y minus 1 equals 6/5 x minus 24. Make sure I'm right. Fifths. Now I need to add 1. Add 1. And so if I add 1 to that, I'm subtracting 5. And so it will be 19/5. And so y equals 6/5 x minus 19/5. Alrighty. Moving down the road. Yoink. Graphing. Put this in slope-intercept form, and then graph. I'm just going to refresh on slope-intercept form because that's the most important thing. We begin on 5. That's the y-intercept. This is the slope A. And we are going to go ahead and do, begin on 5. That's up here. That is a negative slope, so I'm going to go down 1 and right 3. I can also go up 1 and left 3. By the way, it's going to make a negative slope, and so I'm going to connect those points, and we are done. Alright, draw my line straightish. I need my straight edge, didn't bring it. Alright, anywho, that is chapter 3. Make sure that you watch the chapter 2 video if you haven't already. And bye.